Hello everyone, Jeff Kirby here, JMK Costuming and Show Design, Philly Mummer Costumer. Today, I'm asking the question, was Greater Kensington String Band the most consistent and most breakthrough band of the 80s? Now, of course, we hear a lot of Jokers Are Wild, which I often question, was that show as great as we thought it was? We hear Copa, there's no questioning that show, right? And then we've got Polish American, who kind of blew the 80s away. Didn't quite have the consistency, but did great things in the 80s. And then, of course, there was the sound of Furco, right? But Greater Kensington of the 80s, I think, gets overlooked quite a bit. Just going by prize, starting in 1980. 4th, 3rd, 10th, 4th, 2nd, 13th, now at 86, 9th, 11th, 1st, and then in 89, 3rd place. Now, we've got some prizes in there that maybe aren't that great, right? We've got a 10th, a 13th, 9th, 11th, but those shows still brought great things. So in 1980, they did the Roman theme. 4th place, they were coming off a championship in 79, but this the Caesar theme had a great arrangement to it, and they had such a powerful sound, and the way that music was written. I believe structurally with the chords, just the depth and the tone that they played with that year in 1980 surpassed the other bands that were still kind of playing up in this range. Greater Kensington brought things down a bit, made it deeper, bolder. I like to say kick them in the chest. That's what they did that year in 1980. In 1981, they had the Angels. Heaven and Hell, visually stunning with the whites, and then they turned, right, and they had the devils on the back, all reds and oranges, instant color change. We see that now. We see clubs trying to do that now. I often tell clubs you can't just do things because you want to do them. You have to make them make sense. So a lot of clubs are trying to do that double look with their suits now, right? Front and back or side and side. You have to ask yourself why. Is there a reason? What is the reason? And what's the true effect you're trying to get out of that? This was in 1981 with Greater Kensington. That was probably a first that I know of, where you had such a dramatic change in scene just by turning around. 1982. They had the Redskin Romp. That music score, it's kind of related to what they did in 80 with the Caesar theme. Very deep and bold. That music score, I believe, could live today, in today's string band world. If you haven't seen that show in a while, go back and watch Greater Kensington from 1982. Incredible, high energy. Maybe the costuming could have been a bit more, but the music, the score was out of this world, brilliant, especially for the time. But that got a 10th prize that year. But they were still breaking through musically in 1982. 1983, they had the Clown Show. We just played that for you. That brought a lot of character to the street. We talked about this last week or the week before with the Clown and Around show. A lot of character came into play that year with Greater Kensington. Again, setting another bar. 1984, of course, they tied for second with Polish American. They had the Pirate Show. What did they do that year? I probably don't even have to tell you, but they had the huge pirate ship. That took prop usage to a new level, and I don't think other clubs caught up to the sizing, to the scale of that prop, probably for quite some time. But again, they set a new level. Musically, they went back to that bold, right? They came off the Clown Show, fun, lighthearted. Then they went back to that bold sound again. When Kensington was playing with that bold sound in the early 80s, that's a fact. That's what I talk about with the fact. I like to use the A in effect to bring through the E in effect, right? And that's what Kensington was doing musically, especially in the early 80s. They were affecting you through effect. big time. And 1984 was certainly a great example of that. 1985. Now, 85 was interesting. They dropped down to 13th. But what did they do? They brought a new style of costuming, right? They had the hot pink for a toy soldier show. They used those large back pieces. The back pieces were huge, and they were octagon. I'm trying to see it in my head right now. But they filled a lot of space with the back pieces that year. They used different drill techniques with the back pieces. A lot of depth in their show writing. If you remember the intro, they had the two lines coming up while some sat back. Just interesting, very interesting visually. I just think that they were lacking maybe the oomph, the energy that thing that year. But they still brought new things to the street, and they gave you something new to look at and something new to think about. So 85, 13th place with the toy soldier. Now 86, they got 9th prize. I'd be interested to see what would have happened if they went later in the parade. That's a full show that would do well today. It was layered well. It was beautiful. The musical score just kept moving and moving and moving. Of course, they talk about the trash can lids. I always talk about the back pieces on it. I don't think there was ever a more perfectly made back piece than the back pieces they were wearing that year. But high energy. They went early, but very high energy. And like I said, they just layered that show with bit after bit, and it just kept moving. There was no downtime at all. So for 9th place, they kind of brought about that show that just keeps going and going and going. And you don't want to look away. You can't look away. You've got something new coming at you every couple of seconds. So even with a 9th place, 1986, great stuff. Now 87, they dropped to 11. They did the flip their lid, the hat theme. Perhaps not the greatest theme, but what did they do with that? And I'm going to stop right here. I'm going to play this. Tell me, in the history of string bands, in the history of the parade, has there ever been a more beautiful opening to a show? Listen to this music.
For this year's performance, some classy top hats, all kinds of things.
The president of the band is Joe Deegan. He's also the president of the String Band Association, and this performance is dedicated to Joe's wife, Joanne, who passed away last week.
So even though they got an 11th place that year, they still brought something new, something that grabbed you from the beginning. And that was, like I said, they brought a beauty to an opening of a show. 1988, of course, they come up with the classical theme. They come up first place. Now, this is what I say when I recommend clubs watch things like Broadway, DCI. I'm not telling you to do like a DCI show. I'm telling you to pull inspiration and get on the mental level of these judges. 1988. So 1982, I think the movie Amadeus came out, won Best Picture. Who were these judges at the time? They were all in the arts, right? They weren't marching band judges at the time. They were pulled from theater. They all over the place. This was the type of, in today's verbiage, today's wordage, content. That's the kind of content that they were gravitating to. That movie and that type of music was what these judges were into, and the timing was right for Kensington to win that year, to put that show on the street. They brought a great inspiration to Broad Street that year. And they tapped into the interests of the judges that year. And then, of course, 1989, they followed up their championship with the Bien Caribbean. Again, high energy, great music, a little bit of unexpected music, not typical. Some of the selections they had were kind of out there, which really created a brand for that show. Yeah, they came up at the end that year, 89. Really bright, again, high energy. They had the steel drums, which really added impact to that show effect. So yeah, I would venture to say that Greater Kensington may have been the leader of breaking, shattering glass ceilings in the string band world of the 80s. It didn't matter what prize that they got that year. They were still bringing something new to the street every single year that was appreciated, that inspired other clubs to kind of take that concept and especially, like I said, 1987. What did they get? 87. They dumped in 87. 11th. Again, they went up early. I think third maybe that year. I don't know if it would have mattered with that show concept. I mean, it was interesting, but that opening, it grabs you. Just beautiful, especially for a string band. Just beautiful stuff. So, yeah, sometimes when you start thinking about things, maybe the things you're thinking about aren't really what was top. You dig in, and I've been thinking about it. I'm like, Greater Kensington did some really, really great stuff in the 80s. And then you start thinking every year they were doing something that other clubs, they were ahead every single year in the 1980s. So I think, and I would have to go back and look at a couple other clubs to kind of assess them as well, but I think I've come to the conclusion that Greater Kensington was the band of the 80s. All right, thanks a lot for tuning in, and we will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye.